Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amor. If it's your first time joining the channel, welcome. Today I'm starting a new series called the Heiress Diaries. So I named the series the Heiress Diaries because I wanted to create a title that was very empowering for women. We're going to be discussing everything about femininity. As you guys know, the name of the community on here is the Diamond Heirs, but I wanted something specifically for women, so heiresses fit perfect. And I also love the word diaries because I felt like it was perfect for us to be able to continue discussing topics, in this case virtually, versus in a diary you would write down just different things that you experience or things that you want to put down. I feel like this would be the perfect place for us to be able to discuss topics around femininity, self-esteem, empowerment for women, and of course just your overall journey within your womanhood. These have been topics that the Lord has really been just kind of highlighting to me. So for those of you who don't know, I am a Christian, so I will be giving all of these perspectives from a Christian perspective. So today I wanted to talk about how to protect your empathy and embrace true femininity. Being feminine as a woman means being able to embrace the aspects and parts of you that are nurturing, that are creative, your receptivity, so being able to receive as a woman. It means being able to just navigate in a way where you are soft, you are vulnerable, you are able to embrace the qualities that make you you as a woman. I really felt so passionate about creating a series based off femininity because I feel like there's so many women that may have grown up in toxic masculine environments. For a lot of women who are minority women, a lot of times we don't have femininity modeled to us in the best way. And I also feel like in Christianity, there isn't enough topics around this. I felt like the Lord just kind of led me little by little to this point, but it is also something that I see women talking about a lot more now. And it's always been a topic, I think, throughout the generations. But I really feel like there's something very specific going on now that God really wants us to deal with and God really wants us to heal. And so we see now that with millennials, Gen Z, I think there's a lot of people who have come to a place where they're going to therapy, they're healing, they're figuring out who they are, and they're really coming into their true identity. And so identity is something we will be discussing a lot in this series as well. You can expect to hear about identity, femininity, womanhood, self-esteem, topics around self-esteem, all these different type of things. I may also sometimes touch a little bit on dating and romantic topics, but I'm really trying to just focus this mainly on us as women, understanding ourselves and embracing who we are, our authentic, truest selves. I wanted to talk about today how important it is to protect your empathy, right? It's very important as an empathetic woman, as a woman who is in your femininity, or maybe you're now beginning to become more feminine, to embrace those aspects of yourself, right? Where you are compassionate and not just always focus on how you are compassionate or empathetic towards others, but really also give that to yourself. So as women, a lot of times people expect us to always be nurturers, to always be kind of in a mothering type of behavior where we're always taking care of others. We're always looking out for others emotionally. And the issue that comes up in this, because although this is not inherently a bad thing, is that a lot of times women put themselves last. And women start to self-sacrifice at a level that is not conducive to our well-being. And then it ends up affecting who we are, how we navigate. It ends up affecting our mental health, our spiritual health. Because as women, we can be very prone to burning out. A lot of times when we are in spaces that are way too rigid with traditional gender roles, and they don't realize that sometimes women also need a break and women also need time to themselves to regroup, or if they don't feel comfortable or safe, they need to be able to say no. A lot of times women are met with resistance. They're met even in extreme cases with violence. And I think that it's very important as women for us to understand that it is our right to say no. It is our right to speak up for ourselves. It is our right to have a voice. Women are oftentimes taught to be very accommodating, and we are taught to always feel like other people are entitled to our empathy or entitled to our compassion in a way where it's only something that we're supposed to give out to others, but we never have the same right to receive back. And I think that this is something that as women, we need to be very mindful of and very protective of. The Bible tells us to guard our heart above all things. And when we're in spaces or in places where we're not being valued and we're not being respected and we're not as women being seen as we have inherent worth, that is something that we do have to be very mindful of. there are still a lot of mentalities today where women are very much objectified, where people only see women as a prop or as something to use. People will use women for their beauty, for their intelligence, and just for that feminine nature. The fact that they know they can go to a woman and they can make a woman feel sorry for them. And there are women that do this and there are men that do this. And so it's very important as a woman to protect your feminine nature by establishing boundaries. And a lot of times women are not encouraged to establish boundaries. They're not encouraged, again, like how I was saying, to say no. Sometimes we say no not because we're trying to be cruel. Sometimes we need to say no because we need to protect ourselves. Sometimes when we don't feel safe or we know that we are spent, we are tired, we need space and we need to advocate for ourselves, that is not something inherently bad. A lot of times people always expect women, again, to be accommodating, to always be willing to give and give and give and give. But you also have to take care of yourself. And people who respect you, people who value you will show you that. And those who don't won't. And that's just what it is. A lot of times when a woman isn't willing to just give herself away, give away her nature, and allow herself to just be wringed out and just allow herself to kind of be thrown to the side when she's no longer available or useful to someone, people will be kind of shocked when a woman finally decides to respect herself. When as a woman, you finally decide to say, you know what? I'm not going for it this time. And I think it's very important as women, and this is really one of the main reasons why I wanted to create the Heiress Diaries, is to empower other women and advocate for other women. We really, as women, need to come together as a sisterhood and really let other women know that they're not wrong. It's not wrong to want to be respected. It's not wrong to want to say, hey, I understand, but this time I cannot. It is okay as women to decide that we're going to break generational curses. We're going to move differently. A lot of times in a lot of spaces, women get caught up in complaining. They get caught up in being tired. They get caught up in going to somebody else to vent all the time about the same tired, broken thing because, oh, you know, we're women. That's just how it is. That's just what we have to put up with. And honestly, no. A lot of women have been fighting for our rights for a very long time. A lot of women have realized that stuff isn't always, you know, the best for us. Stuff isn't always fair to us. And obviously, I think women who want to be women don't want to be men. I really want to be clear on all of the topics I'm going to be talking about moving forward have nothing to do with bashing men. And although, yes, men do benefit from toxic patriarchy and from misogyny, I also understand that these are societal things that we are taught and we are basically socialized to accept. And so we really have to look at the part that we play in society, the things that we allow to keep going on. And a lot of times it can be very uncomfortable as a woman to stand up for yourself. You can be mislabeled. People will meet you with a lot of lies and resistance, and people will try to paint you out to be difficult. People will even try to paint you out as being the B word. But at the end of the day, if being respected as a woman gets you to see people for who they really are, then you're protecting yourself. There's a lot of people that will only like you when you fit a version of yourself where you only do what other people want you to do. And when that's going on, you are not in your feminine nature. You are not tapped into who you really are as a woman. You are being fake and you are living a facade. And so have the courage, have the boldness, have the audacity to stand up and say what you will and will not tolerate and put up with. And when it comes to your empathy, protect your empathy. Make sure you make time to be there for people where and when you can. But if you cannot, or if people have proven to take advantage of your empathy or to feel entitled to your empathy, when you're going through stuff, they're never there for you, but conveniently when their world's falling apart, you're supposed to drop everything for them. You have to really stop and look at, why am I nurturing one-sided relationships? Why am I nurturing things that don't nurture me back? Why am I always feeling in debt to having to respect things that never respect me in return? That's not fair. That's not right, you know? And so I think that a lot of times, again, women are taught to just go with the flow, go with whatever it is, and just deal with it. Just deal with it. It's the way it is. And I really want to encourage women that no, you don't have to. I know that for a lot of women, this isn't like groundbreaking information. A lot of women know this. A lot of women have had or been in spaces or around people who have made space for you and who have affirmed you. But this series is really more so for women who don't get that, who haven't gotten that affirmation, who when they go to others and they talk about things they've been through, they don't validate what they're saying. They make it seem like it's not a big deal. They make it seem like you're being dramatic. You're not being dramatic. You're being fair. And I think that we really have to get to a point where we understand that your gift, right, is the ability to be able to feel, the ability to be able to give, the ability to be able to hold space for people. And it's important that you also have that. To finish here, I want you to think about 10 years ago, throughout the last 10 years of your life, when you were going through some of the hardest things you'd ever been through in your life. Who was there for you? Who held space for you? Who said, wow, I know you're going through that, and I just want to let you know I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to, okay? And I really want you to think about, just really think about, if you didn't have anyone, okay? Or if you had one or two people, right? Honor those relationships where you had that. But if you know that a lot of times the people who are most demanding of your empathy are never there for you, never give you empathy back, never feel for you, downplay your issues or your problems or the things that you had to go through in life that were unfair, then I want you to really rest in the knowing that you don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe people stuff that they feel that they're entitled to. You have autonomy as a woman. This is your body, the body that God has given you, okay? So you are God's first and you are yourself second. Everyone else is in third place, y'all. Hear me, okay? If you're married, then yeah, your husband comes third. Because I would definitely say that as women, we belong to ourselves as well. And I think a lot of times we are not taught that, we are not affirmed in that, we are not told that. And that's why we make a lot of just decisions that dishonor ourselves, you know? And I also really want to encourage any Christian woman to really get in spaces where you're also taught to self-honor. I think one big, huge mistake that the church is making is that we oftentimes always teach people how to honor others, but we are horrible at teaching people how to honor themselves. And God didn't create you so that you would dishonor the vessel that you are. God didn't create you so that you would dishonor the mission and the purpose that is on your life. You also matter. You also have value. You also have worth. So I hope that this really ministered. I hope that this really spoke to you all. Let me know what you all learned in this. Let me also know if you are on a femininity journey. If you're on a healing journey, you are definitely on a femininity journey as well as a woman. Let me tell y'all, when you heal, you really begin to change as a woman. You really start to tap into who you really are and your creativity, and you just really start to give yourself over to everything that God wants you to become. And so I think that that's very brave and courageous. If you're doing that, I applaud you. I know how hard that is. And I really hope you guys look forward to seeing more videos from me. I'm so excited. This has been a long time coming, but I thank you for watching my first official video of the Heiress Diaries. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you click that like button, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Bye, ladies. Bye, heiresses.